If you want to make more money or you're struggling with money, then this video has found you. I'm making here a big statement. This is probably something that you have never heard before. This is not about rituals, prayers, affirmation, no demons, no angels, no gods, probably nothing that you've heard before. I'm going to share with you what has worked for myself and all the people that I have shared it with. Family, friends, clients. Now, this is the real key that I've been using to manifest real big results, where I manifested myself from being broke to living a really great life in Dubai, living in the luxury, but then also realizing, again, through that very same power, that I want more than wealth. And so I manifested myself further into the direction that I desired. And that is really what it's all about. It is about not just desiring something, but embodying that desire. It is about becoming that person that has it. What would it be good for if you do rituals, if you do affirmations, meditations, work with spirits, demons, angels, gods, whatever, when you then in the end still suffer, struggle, and waste your time essentially? You keep on doing and doing things, you're burning candles, burning incense, but then still you get just one challenge after another, and it seems almost like you're just repeating challenges. Most people who are stuck in toxic relationships, they keep on getting into those toxic relationships. People who are stuck in poverty or financial struggles, they keep on struggling. Now, why is that? Is it maybe because there is something more that we have not really talked about yet? Is it maybe because spirits are not the key to manifesting wealth? Maybe demons are not the key. Maybe rituals, affirmations are not the key. Maybe a meditation is not enough. Well, this is exactly what I'm giving you the answer to. I'm going to answer this question right now. But before we jump to it, I want you to check out the link in the description, because what I'm going to do is I'm doing something really special. I'm offering you to hop on a session with me. Now, usually I would charge a full price, but now I'm charging a very special price until the end of this year, because I know not everybody can take action right away. But here comes the catch. The spots are very limited. I make it extremely discounted until the end of this year, and then it jumps back to the full price. For reference, if you want a session with me, we would not just talk, we would work. We would get to work and we would get results. We are only results focused in these sessions, and all of my clients have tremendous results in those sessions, and of course also after effects, big results coming into their lives. Now, this is not a miracle that I'm offering you here. I'm offering you here to do the work that is necessary to achieve your desires. This is not just some fancy ritual or something like that I'm offering, but I'm offering you to look at your life, your situation, take a zoom glass and see what you're doing right and why you're currently stuck in certain patterns. Because the reality is that almost everybody that I've got to know are stuck in some pattern that repeats itself, whether it's struggling in love, in finances, in health, or whatever, you name it. So this is what we can work on. So if you're interested, check out the link in the description, and I make sure I give you the very best discounted price, but spots are very limited because my time is not endless, and usually for one session I take like 1 or 1.5 hours. And so this is a huge time investment, and so I can just impossibly give away, for example, 50 sessions, because that is too much, okay? So it's very limited. So if you're interested, be fast, click on the link in the description and make sure to book yourself a session. Now let's jump into the value, right? And it's amazing because, not because I want to hype myself and say I am amazing or what I do is amazing, but it's amazing because this is really a stepping stone for yourself. Maybe this knowledge has not found you before, but right now you're ready for it. That's why you see it right now, because right now you resonate with it. That's why you found it. And chances are not many people are meant for this, or maybe many people are meant for this, but it is very sure that those people that see this, they are ready for a change. Now, let's see and talk about what true change is, how true change can happen to you and for you and by you. So, how does manifestation work? Is it a ritual? No. Is it affirmation? No, it's not. Is it just you visualizing life and then the law of attraction making it happen? Not really. That is just like 1%. Okay? So all of that law of attraction talk, the law of vibration, and all the different universal laws, they're great. But they're just theory. That is the big issue. The issue is that most people are stuck in the theory and then in practicing this theory. Okay, you practice the law of attraction here, you do affirmations here, you do meditations here, but that is just you doing a little step here, a little step there, but you don't do the full game. You don't play the full game, you just play a little piece of it. But you have to do everything in one to have a real result. That is why most people don't get the results. That is why they're stuck. They try everything, but then they still don't get results because you don't know about the full picture yet. And it's not your fault. It is nobody's fault. It's not even the fault of the people who teach about law of attraction and all kinds of universal laws. In fact, what I'm going to teach you here now is including all of the universal laws. It's going to teach you everything you need to know, and there's probably nothing more that you need to know after this. But we will further refine it in the other videos. Now, let's get into it. You've been waiting for it, and I'm excited to share this with you. Now, who are you? In order to manifest, we first need to understand who we are. Are you a human? Not really. Are you the body? Probably you already know that you're not the body and mind. Probably you already have a feeling or already researched it enough that you know that you're the soul, the spirit. But that's not news. That's what we probably already know. But it gets more interesting here. I give you an example, and I love to give my clients this example. Imagine a phone. The phone is the hardware. It is something you can touch, right? It's like the system in the physical, a physical system. That's what we call awareness. Or you could call it the supermind, where everything is connected to, which also people call God. Now, we got the hardware, the awareness. And on the awareness, we got an operating system. So if you have an iPhone or an Android phone, you got that phone, that is the awareness, and on top of awareness is your higher self, the operating system. So I got my iPhone here, and I got my operating system, iOS, installed on it. It runs everything, okay? So now we got awareness, on top of it is our higher self, the operating system, and now we can install apps. Apps, for example, one app would be Venus, the planet Venus. Another app could be love, the energy of love. Another app could be Satan, or another app could be God. And all the angels and demons and all the gods are apps you can install on your operating system. Now, have you ever experienced that you did something and it didn't work? And then you wondered, why didn't it work? Maybe it was a ritual, affirmation, or meditation. That is simply because you have your awareness, and on top of it is your higher self. And your higher self, your operating system, might not be compatible with that certain practice or that certain app. Maybe you desperately want to work with a certain being, or you have a certain goal and you want to tap into it and want to get results, but your operating system is not compatible with it. Now, how can we ensure that we get results and we don't get our desires rejected? It's very simple. The first step is stop listening to your ego. Now, who's that ego? It's that voice. You're going outside, people look at you and you're like insecure immediately. Or you're like, do I look good? You're thinking, what should I do? Should I move this way? All of that is your ego. That's not your true self. That's your ego. Now, that's what your ego is doing. But who's listening? That is who you truly are. Your self-awareness, okay? Your self-awareness is listening in this moment to the ego. Because your self-awareness is basically experiencing and observing all this reality through you. Not through you. You are the self-awareness, but through the body, okay? Through the body of yours, okay? So you own the body, but you are not the body. You own the mind, which is also the ego, but you are not the ego and mind. They're just tools given to you. The body is the tool that helps you to navigate through physical reality. The mind helps you to dissect certain situations and connect it with certain information and safe information. So it's another tool. The mind is a useful tool, the body is a useful tool, but what we call soul is the self-awareness. It's who you truly are. Now, the self-awareness is everywhere and in everything, and everything literally. Now, we got the self-awareness observing life, observing what's happening here and there, okay? Now, if we want to manifest something, it gets tricky. We have a desire and we believe we like that. But most times it's just us listening to ego, which is usually not a desire that is compatible with our higher self. So if our ego is saying, I need to look better. I need to look better. I feel insecure when I'm going outside. Or I don't feel good because my friend is richer than me. I want to be richer. This is all the ego. This is the ego. You say I, the ego says I, and you hear it, but that's not truly you. But you're listening. You're listening and believe that was you talking. But just right now, look at this, what I'm saying. And your ego reacts to it. You have thoughts automatically coming. They just appear. Now, where does it come from? Because who's listening? You cannot talk and listen at the same time, but how somewhat we started believing that this is us. But that's just the mind. This is just like the body, one of our tools. And the tool has given us a possible reaction, a possible scenario, possible information that could be useful to us. And it always looks out for our survival and looks out for us being always ready for every situation. It tries its best, at least. Now, if you have a desire that you work on in any way, no matter how you work on it, if that desire comes from your ego, then probably this ego is not compatible with your higher self. So you're wasting your time. So in order for you to manifest, you first need to make sure that you're compatible with your higher self, and that is by following your intuition. Whatever your intuition is showing you, that is your gut feeling. This is your feeling that comes from the heart. This is when you really, really feel, this is what I really want to do. You see, so many people, they go to work. They go to work, they work the 9 to 5, but they're telling you, I really wish I would just be able to hike outside. I want to go hiking every single day. But I cannot do this because I have to work. Or I really love fishing. Or I really love playing soccer. Now, you might think, but if I do this, I will not earn money. If you do this, if you follow your intuition, if you follow your truest desire, you will face definitely some challenges, but also rewards. There is no unfairness. There's nothing that is either fair or unfair. There's always balance in everything. Everything is relative. Whenever you say, okay, that would be not good and that is good, That is your ego. But as the self-awareness, the soul, you're just here to observe. And through doing that, you're automatically gifted by your higher self with blessings, you could say. But it's not truly that you're getting blessed. It's just that you're embodying your highest, most powerful and truest self. And that truest self automatically has the blessing of the universe. But you are the universe, okay? So you're blessing yourself. You're leveling up yourself. The more you step into your intuition and following through with it, the more you are getting a clear picture what's really important in your life. Now then you know what is your desires. What are the desires that are compatible with your higher self? Now you try working on those. And you will see, working on those true desires is almost like you have 90% less resistance, or maybe 100% less resistance, which then we call synchronicity. Because this is actually meant for you. And it's not like it's hidden. It is just you who needs to tap into your intuition, listen to it, follow through with it. Now, what can you now do? We talked about the awareness. On top of it is the higher self, okay? I'm talking here, this is the reality. All is awareness. Then there is a layer inside. This is the higher self. This is your higher self. And it's directly connected to awareness. And then comes your self-awareness, okay? It's like, this is the core, around it is the higher self, and very much around it is the awareness. And your self-awareness can now choose, okay? Do I follow through with my intuition? This is my signal to my higher self. This is where I need to go. This is my GPS. So will I go towards what's meant for me? Or will I resist and fall for the trap of being deceived by my own self? Because you only can deceive yourself. Because the ego is there as a tool. It just gives you suggestions. This is, if you blame your ego, or you say, but this is what I feel this is what I need to do. If you listen to that ego and blame it, that is almost like you go on Google, search for something, see something and say, I had no other choice. I had to go this way because Google said it. But then you got a signal inside of your mind, in your heart, that's telling you where to go, what to do. And if you would just follow through, playing only soccer or going for fishing or whatever you feel is right, as you go for it, you're automatically receiving new scenarios, new desires, new information. That is the beauty of it. The more you follow through with intuition, the more information you get, the more intuitively you receive the information that helps you to level up. Now's the point. Now we have just set the foundation. Okay? This is just the foundation. Now we got that foundation. Now what do we do with it? Now we can install the apps. Okay? We talked about it. Installing the apps on our iOS. Installing the app on the operating system, which is, for example, planets, gods, demons, angels, or emotions, or elements. Okay? You can work with you can work with love. You can work with fire. You can work with planet Saturn or planet Venus. Or you can work with spirits. Now let's understand what are spirits. Once and for all, we want to clear this out. Is a spirit an external being? The spirit is something that stems out of the collective mind. It is a creation of all humans. Now, when you look at, for example, Archangel Michael or Lucifer, then you might think that these beings, they are first of all real, and second, they have their own thinking, and third, that they can help you, right? That's why you would approach them, because you believe they can help you. This is because people like to give something, a persona. They want to believe that an outer force can bless them because they don't believe that they have power by themselves. They want to believe that something else has the power, that something else has the key, because they experienced that in their life they did not have that necessary power. The truth is that you have never stepped into your power. And the other truth is that both the angels and the demons and all the gods always teach to empower yourself, simply because these are not true real beings, but they are a creation of the collective mind. Now, what is this creation? When we look at an example, Azazel, okay? Now, when you look at Azazel, this is a really, really strong app, okay? A really strong being that taps, or that comes and stems from the Saturnian current. Now, what is the Saturnian current, or the love current? Everything is a current of energy. It's an energy, a force. And what is energy and a force? What is it? It's frequency. So it is certain frequency. And what is Saturn? It's a frequency of self-mastery, of karma, and of transformation. Now, what is Azazel? Azazel is the demonic version, but not, it is a different version, but the demonic, you could say, persona of that raw frequency. There's a raw frequency, a raw powerful energy, and then there is Azazel, who's also extremely powerful, but it is like chaos forced into order. Now you got chaos and order. Now Azazel, when you work with Azazel, is different than working with Saturn. Now I explain to you how that would be different. Same example applies to angels, gods, any beings that you might believe in. When you work with a being, it puts that chaos into order. And by a lot of humans working with that being, their beliefs that this being exists forms and shapes its style, its way of being, its way of transforming you. And also its understanding, this energy is shifting, the energy that we call Azazel is then shifting, because it understands certain people approach this energy. And so this energy shifts based on the collective mind. The collective mind, that means all of the humans that call on Azazel usually have similarities. It needs, you need to be in the right frequency to feel the need to even work with Azazel. Because you could have worked with any being, but you are in a certain frequency that you believed, now I'm going to work with this being. Now this frequency, this is the requirement for you to get to this being. Now, we got that Azazel energy now. And that Azazel energy knows that those that call this energy have a certain frequency, and so it adjusts to that frequency. It adjusts, it shapes, and it reshapes throughout the experiences and throughout the versions of humanity. Humanity is shifting and shifting, and as humanity shifts, also these beings shift. A couple thousand years ago, these beings were not even known because these names were never known. That was new. Now, this is something that we know as Azazel. Before that, people had other names, but don't get this mixed up. Different names does not mean that this is Azazel. There were different frequencies, okay? And there's demonic frequencies of a raw frequency, and then there's angelic frequencies of a raw frequency. Angelic and demonic is just made up. This is just a way of naming things. The more you go low, which is not going low in a sense that it's bad, but the more you go demonic, you get faster results, extreme results, and a big disruption. And that disruption means that you're getting something that you have not yet earned yourself because you forced it through that force. It's a catalyst. It is an explosive transformation, and that transformation requires a huge shift within yourself. So you will trigger a trauma or trigger a difficult situation. Now, people call this side effects. They call this the price of working with a demon. They call this you work with a demon and so you get punished or something like that. Or they call it karma. Okay, it's none of that. You don't get negative karma for working with these beings. But working with them automatically triggers parts of yourself. Because what you do is when you work with a demon, then you get extreme results quickly. But you have not shifted yet, you have not made a change yet. So they trigger something within you so that there can be a long-term shift that establishes the balance again. You cannot get something without having achieved the right frequency to it. So you need to do the going through the shadow. That's what we call the shadow self. All the traumas, limiting beliefs are trapped in it, or not trapped, but they are within it. Now, the demons help you to face that shadow in a very extreme way. You get extreme results, but extreme experiences, and you get faced with your own shadow. Now, when we work with angels, it's different. Angels don't work in a way that they give you extreme change, but they give you the guidance and long-term support for you to almost naturally achieve a certain state. Now, you might say now, but I already talked with a spirit. How could it be that I talked to a spirit, I received some information from it, and it was true? Happened to me many times. I also asked myself this question in the past. Now, here's the answer. Whenever you call any spirit, you're just talking to a frequency. Frequency holds information. Frequency, if you take on that frequency, you embody it. If you take it on, you start embodying it. When you call a spirit, you're downloading this frequency. That frequency has a lot of information within it, a lot of transformation within it. So you think, when you talk to a spirit, and then you get some information from it, you think you have talked with the spirit. But this is just a frequency that you have learned to understand better. The more you adjust to this frequency, the more you are in tune with the frequency, the more you can get aware of the information and transformation this frequency embodies and how it can shift you. And if you are aware of it, you let it shift you, and that's what you then call the spirit talking to you. Because what happens is you ask a question and you download the information from the spirit, and then your mind transforms this into an answer. So you get that information and your mind automatically wraps around it in a way that it sounds like an answer. But you will see that depending on the person, there's a different style that the spirit is talking. That is because the information might come from the spirit, but the way that you receive it is influenced by this wrapping around. Okay, everybody has a different gift wrapping, so its tone can change. It also changes based on your expectation. So if you go online and you look, okay, as Azazel or Archangel Michael, they are this certain way, then you have that expectation. Then you have that information in your subconscious mind. And so you might experience them in that exact way, but only because you tapped into this before. Or else you would see a more raw, more personal way of seeing the spirit. If you would not research anything, you just start working with this spirit frequency, then you would get a more personal image of it. But that's still just something you created. You received that information, that frequency, and you make something out of it. Are they spirits in the sense that humans believe they exist? No. Do these spirits haunt you? No. Can there be negative side effects? Yes. Because if you're out of tune and try to force something and you don't know what you're doing, then this can mess up your life. And that's what you see with most people. Here comes now something. There's people in this world, I don't name them, but you know them because you watch the media and they are there. They show you like these signs and you think they're working with demons. That's what they want you to think. They think that this is a huge secret, but then they give you these signs. They're like this, and you think that they believe that it's still a secret. No, they know that they're telling you something. They know it. They want you to believe that there's external forces. Because as long as you are stuck in that, as long as you believe there's external beings like devils or angels that can help you, protect you, guide you, as long as you believe they're outside of you, as long as you believe you have to do rituals and stuff like that, you are kept in a prison that is invisible, because all of the knowledge, all of the power is you. You. Now, if we want to manifest something, let's say you want to manifest wealth. I picked this now as an example because we want to focus on wealth in this video. Now, you could tap into the force of wealth itself. Wealth, the word itself, this is a frequency, wealth. Wealth is a frequency. It within itself is energies and other frequencies. But you cannot just tap into that frequency now. Why? Because it has certain requirements. Okay? In order to tap fully into the frequency of wealth, you need to have dignity, the right amount of pride, but not too much. Self-worth, self-confidence, self-awareness. And when you have that and you're really aware of your value, your tremendous value, your unlimited value, and you fully embody the wealth itself, then it automatically enters your life. That's why people use meditation and affirmations in the hope that they can get this done, okay? But they don't really understand why they're doing affirmations and meditations, and they don't understand that this is just not enough. Now, when you work with an angel, it takes this raw energy and guides you to embodying these different frequencies in order for you then to be in the end game, being able to embody wealth itself. And then it manifests. Demons, they will just manifest the result aggressively, explosively, like it's very transformative, but also they will face you with the shadow that you within yourself have to solve, that you have to process in order for you then to also embody the wealth. But the demons might just forcefully manifest something for you, and you will pay the price by facing your shadow, okay? So if you're a person, like I said, the wealth requires you to have a lot of self-worth, and if you lack self-worth, then the demons will show, they will manifest a reality where you are faced with a problem, a situation where you need to gain self-worth, where you need to tap into self-worth. And so more and more, they are getting you to become the best version of yourself. Angels and demons doing the very same thing, but in the middle is wealth itself. So you could work with angels, demons, or you work on right away doing it yourself and trying to work on your self-worth, dignity, pride, but not pride in like you're very arrogant, but pride in the healthy way. Self-worth in the healthy way. You don't want to go too aggressive, okay? Now, all of this involves working with your own self, tapping into awareness. Who are you? Awareness. I am awareness. I observe. Observe everything around you. Observe everything that happens. That's a really, really strong step forward to shifting your life. Something happens. Don't react. Don't react emotionally. Understand. This happened. I observe. Whatever you feel inside, Observe that. Oh, I feel sad. Why? I feel sad because of this and that. I have this reason. Okay, I observed it. Is there something behind it maybe that makes me feel that way? And then you go deeper and deeper until you don't find any more answers. And then you say, okay, I cannot get further. Now I change the subject. I observe now something else. Because later on you will get the full picture. You get always more and more deeper and deeper. Always question every single thing, observe everything, go further and further and further, and work yourself into your subconscious mind. If you do that, just by observing, asking questions, asking your own self, you ask your ego. That is then when you tap into your self-awareness, into where you are speaking from the real you. You ask the ego with full awareness. You ask, why is that? Okay, I hear you. Now you feel very sad, you feel very broken, very aggressive. That is your ego, how that feels like that. Your higher self can never, or your self-awareness can never feel this, because it is unlimited. It is unlimited and knows everything is relative. There is no good or bad. So, talk to your ego. Tell your ego, I hear you. I know it's tough right now. I know that you're right now angry, but you're more. You're more than that. You're more than an emotional reaction. You're strong, and I'm here for you. I'm here for you. I share deep compassion with you. I love you. I'm here for you. I'm your partner. Remember, you don't need anybody else. I'm here for you because I am the self-awareness. I am the powerful self-awareness. I am here for you. Tell this to your ego in this exact way and see what it does to anger, fear, anxiety, OCD, to any emotion. It can always just increase your frequency when you do that. First game changer. Literally, this is the game changer. You might not resonate with it and so you don't apply it, but you might as well just try it out and see how this just shifts your life. Observe, ask questions, be there for your ego and body. Talk to your body, talk to your mind. They're your tools. They have been given to you. Now you just take care of them. Maintaining them, that's the maintenance. And such a simple maintenance. There's nothing simpler than doing that. Now doing this keeps you in balance. The more you're in balance, the more easier you can manifest something. Now manifesting something, like I said, either you embody wealth or love or health, or you work with demons or angels, okay? Either way, whether you work with angels, you work it by yourself, or you work with demons, you need to shift something, you need to understand something. Now again, remember my offer. If you're really interested in shifting, then click on the link in the description because I have a special offer for you. Now, when you do these steps, you observe, you listen to your intuition, you don't blindly follow your ego, you're there for your ego, okay? Then you will already experience a strong shift, okay? Now, if you then now work on your self-worth, if you work on dignity, pride in a healthy way, the more you work on this, the more you're going to embody wealth. And as you embody it, it's going to manifest. This includes all of the laws. If you just do these steps that I explained so far, there's more steps, but we're right now at 40 minutes. If you just do this, you're already shifting your life. If you do it right, if you do it with your self-awareness, if you do it with your heart, if you're honest, if you're ready. Now don't force anything, but I'm telling you, you're capable of everything. You're powerful, and you do not need to hear these words because you can tell this to your ego yourself. You can, okay? So I would love to work together with you. Spots are very limited. I have tremendous value that I can just not share all now. It's already been 40 minutes. My throat is getting dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some other videos, but in the meantime, you can apply this or book a session or just also have a diary and note down how you shifted your life by just applying what I said in this video. That is even better. And then, yeah, I see you in the next video. I wish you the very best blessings.